These are the lawyers representing the two accusers. It's two women accusing multiple TDE execs of a myriad of accusations, including SA and including sexual harassment and battery and sexual misconduct. So Linda Luna and Aya Alteri, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing those, Alteri, filed a lawsuit against TDE, the record label best known for launching artists such as Kendrick Lamar and SZA, alleging that TDE execs and employees had engaged in sexual misconduct. Specifically, Miss Luna alleged that she was sexually harassed, assaulted, and battered by TDE execs. So this is written by the lawyers representing the two accusers, straight from the lawyers' own website. They have this whole page about it. So obviously this is their side, and then we'll find the responses. Specifically, so like the people in the thumbnail are Anthony Tiffith Jr. and Brandon Jr., who are like the president of TDE and like two of the main founders. Obviously, Kendrick Lamar is not involved in this lawsuit. Just want to put that out there. We're specifically talking about people that are more behind the scenes here. But if you are a fan of hip hop and a fan of TDE, you know about these people, and you have for like 10 years now. So it's still pretty shocking. Specifically, Miss Luna alleged that she was sexually harassed, assaulted, and battered by TDE. Miss Alteri alleged that she was drugged and sexually assaulted by TDE employees. Miss Luna also alleged that she performed PR and media relations work for TDE for years, but that TDE failed to properly pay her. She included in the lawsuit screenshots of text messages between her and TDE's president, which show her repeatedly asking for payment and him telling her he doesn't have money to pay her. They got money, that's for sure. If they got anything, they got money over there at TDE. The allegations include screenshots showing TDE sending Miss Luna inappropriate sexual messages and quotes from a recorded convo in which Miss Luna and an unnamed TDE artist discussed the sexual assault allegations with TDE, putting them on notice. You're on notice. What does TDE say about it? Miss Luna and Miss Alteri filed the lawsuit anonymously, afraid for their reputations and safety if they revealed their names. In response to the lawsuit, TDE released a public statement calling the lawsuit quote-unquote shakedown and accusing us, the lawyers, of seeking our 10 minutes of fame. They can have their 10 minutes back. We don't need it. Dude, these lawyers, they're a little sassy throughout here, a little snarky, a little sassy here and there, but that's why we love lawsuits over here, because they are fun. They're people just vicious and polite as possible, but like when the viciousness will still peek through here and there. And so like I love reading these lawyer statements and shit. It's so much fun, in my opinion. Very entertaining. That's why we cover a lot of these court cases. Critically, TDE's statement identified Miss Luna and Miss Alteri by name, putting them at risk of harassment. So they had filed the lawsuit anonymously, literally out of fear of their safety and reputations. And in TDE's immediate response, well, the lawyers go on to accuse them of doxing. I don't know if it's doxing. I mean, their names, the term doxing at this point has become so bastardized. It just means like identifying somebody, but really doxing is putting somebody's like address out there, their exact location. That's like the traditional meaning of it, I guess. Exact address of their house or something. Putting their names out there, I mean, even though they were anonymous, it's fucked up to put their names out there. What I call a doxing, I wouldn't necessarily classify it as doxing, but, obviously the lawyers are going to say it. I guess they can make an argument for it. But, so in TDE's statement, they put their names out there. In my opinion, that's pretty fucked up. After our clients' names were revealed, Miss Luna received harassing messages that attacked her business, her person, and called for her to be raped and killed. That's why we added a new cause of action in our amended complaint for doxing, a violation of Civil Code Section 1708.89. Who's telling the truth? The legal process and a jury of our clients' peers will be the ultimate arbiter of fact. However, after the statement from TDE challenging our clients' credibility, we filed an amended complaint that included significant additional detail. This complaint has text message screenshots, email screenshots, and quotes from a recorded conversation that all substantiate the claims. Additionally, the complaint is verified. Verified what, like on Instagram? Got 'em. That means our clients have submitted a declaration under oath. Okay. Swearing under penalty of perjury that the facts they have alleged in this amended complaint are the truth. So that's pretty serious. That's pretty serious. They have given these statements under penalty of perjury. I mean, that does say a lot. With all of the screenshots, the text message screenshots, which we'll get into. I've seen some of them already. They don't help. They don't help our Tiffith boys, that's for sure. It's the same oath they will take in court when they testify to the truth of these allegations. What are the exact allegations in the complaint? Here they are. So I say at this point, that we got the lawyer statement since it's here. So I guess we'll just start from the top. Why not? Parties. Plaintiff Linda Luna is a California resident who performed services for TDE from 2019 through the beginning of 2024. Plaintiff Aya Alteri is an Arizona resident who resided in a home provided by TDE between 2020 and 2021. Defendant TDE LLC is a California corporation with a principal place of business located at... Now that's doxing. Man, I'm about to just show up and ask for a job. Yeah, I guess, and not after this video, right? Defendant Brandon Tiffith is the chief marketing officer of TDE and resides in LA County. Defendant Anthony Tiffith Jr. is the president of TDE and resides in LA County. Mr. Tiffith Jr. is also known under the pseudonym Moosa. No, a lot of people know him as Moosa. Defendant David Harrell was on information and believe at all relevant times herein acting as an employee of TDE and resides in LA County. Mr. Harrell is also known under the pseudonym H. Wood and Hollywood. The Hollywood and H. Wood, like I don't know him by those names, but David Harrell, I guess, kind of seems somewhat familiar, maybe. Factual allegations. Professional services and unpaid compensation owed to Linda Luna. In 2017, defendant Tiffith Jr. initiated discussions over text message with plaintiff Luna about joining TDE to handle public relations and brand marketing. So here's text. Moosa, okay, are you ready to bring me on board? She says, LOL, but everything is cool. I actually ran into Brandon at Quavo event because I was at a party of the team that put it together. He says, yes, let's sit and talk. She's so young and fresh. I want you to come on board officially if you think you can help connect her with the right brands and get the right looks for her. Yeah, let's discuss. Is she a new TDE artist? Yeah, she's new to the team. We gonna build her own fan base first, then announce her. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure I can definitely help with opportunities there for her. So replies, I'm trying to start early and build a dope team for her. In 2019, Mr. Tiffith Jr. engaged Miss Luna's services to work with artist A, agreeing to compensate Miss Luna at a monthly rate. Mr. Tiffith Jr. also asked Miss Luna to perform work for other artists affiliated with TDE. For example, in October 2019, he asked Miss Luna to assist with media and public relations work for one of his artists, Kimbe. That's Kimbe X. Wow, okay. He continued to request her professional services for Kimbe over the course of the week. Moosa says to her in text messages, releasing Kimbe's project tomorrow, need your help. She says, what do you need? I know you're not calling me the day before to do a rollout campaign, LOL. He says, LOL, I got day off. I need following weeks to keep it afloat. Okay. She's like, what, you trying to get him to have some interviews done, etc.? He goes, where you at today? He's so super vague. Just like, he's like giving her no direct answers to her questions and giving her no information at the same time. She goes, just working till the evening, then Todd Gurley Halloween party. He says, where can I have Kimbe out here? I got a little budget as well if you can help spread this album more. She goes, let's talk. Can you talk in 10 minutes? It continues, Miss Luna agreed and performed significant media relations work on Kimbe's project. At Mr. Tiffith Jr.'s request, Miss Luna began to perform services for multiple TDE-affiliated artists. Miss Luna submitted her invoices to Mr. Tiffith Jr. on November 27, 2019. Mr. Tiffith Jr. confirmed receipt of the invoice in writing. He reimbursed the travel and meal expenses but did not pay the invoice for her professional services. Miss Luna requested payment repeatedly by phone and text message. Each time, Mr. Tiffith Jr. brushed off her requests. At one point, he demanded she exchange pleasantries with him before requesting payment. What? I mean, yeah, that's like some just like power move type of shit, just like controlling type of behavior. It's just like odd. By the end of January 2020, Mr. Tiffith Jr. had still not paid Miss Luna's invoice. Around this time, they had also decided to kick Kimbe like out of TDE pretty much in this time because Kimbe had like leaked that he was involved with TDE and I guess they didn't like that. Like he took a picture with a TDE chain. Real ones will remember. And then they basically like put him on the back burner or like basically just kicked him out. I think. I don't know if there was like bad blood there or what happened exactly, but maybe if I'm going to give Mr. Jr. the benefit of the doubt here or some benefit of the doubt, maybe they try to promote his album. They reached out to her. She did some work for it, and then they decided like, nah, this isn't going to work. And after which, she's trying to collect money, but they on the TDE side have at this point possibly decided that, he's out. We're not going to pay for this shit, even though she did all the work. Like, we don't give a fuck because he's already out and like, we're not going to pay her for this. And they're just they thought that they could get away with that. That's, it really doesn't make him look much better, but that's kind of what I'm guessing happened. Otherwise, it's just like super fucked. Like, if I'm going to give them the Tiffiths any explanation here. Although I'm surprised, maybe it does go into those details, but so far they aren't going to mention that Kimbe, was excommunicated from TDE. Maybe not that extreme, but they certainly stopped promoting his music. So he's demanding she exchange pleasantries. Let's read these. She goes, do you have my check? I know you said it would be ready on Monday. He goes, LOL. Hey, good morning to you too, Linda. She goes, I'm not laughing. He goes, I'm not either. You just never not said hello. Really, do we need to scroll up and look at all the messages I sent you and and how many times I called you and how you just ignore me? He goes, why don't you ask me if I'm okay? You know anything I've been through this week? Nah. He's such an asshole. She goes, hey love, did you ever send me that money you owe me? I need to try to get this money that I put out, please. Have a safe New Year celebration, whatever you do tonight. Those two messages are a day apart, December 31st, and then she gave him a safe New Year's celebration on December 31st. And he goes, what party is going up tonight, in response to that. And then about a month later, she goes, hey, good morning. Can I get that money you owe me today, please? And also, what's the update on the Empire check? No response. A day later, she goes, hey, love, please bring the money today, too. Get it out the way finally. I need to get the money to pay for some business things this week. I don't want to keep taking from my personal account. And he finally goes, okay. A week later, she goes, okay, you still haven't given me the money. I need to get that from you this week. Totaled my car last night. Damn, you okay? So need to get all that money from you so I can use it towards my deductible with my insurance. Damn, she's going through it. Over the course of 2019, TDE relied more heavily on Miss Luna. Miss Luna began to work with the artist Reason, okay? And also performed services for the TDE Christmas concert in December, including securing host talent and additional site assistance. Mr. Tiffith Jr. expressed interest in having Miss Luna work with all of TDE's artists, stating that he was going to have to use Miss Luna for every shoot. He also emphasized his reliance on her on her professional services, stating in response to a text from Miss Luna about her taking lead on product management. Take care of me, Lin Lin. Okay. Take care of me, Lin Lin. Oh, here we go. Here's a big one. February 7th, 2020. Right on the cusp of COVID. Right there. Right at COVID. She goes, bro, we need to sit down and talk because this is my 5th time buying groceries this past month and my bills just came in. And of course the light bill is higher. But I'm not like mad, but I need you to be mindful and considerate of what I'm picking up over here for you. Redacted, Artist A can eat a whole bag of chips and a whole bottle of snacks in the same day, so I have to go back and buy groceries like every few days. This is not, I'm guessing that's Reason. I'm guessing Artist A is Reason, because they already mentioned his name. Why would he? I don't know. Maybe it's not, but this is not cool that you keep saying you're gonna give me money, but every time something happens where I don't hear from you, and we don't connect because you always end up doing something else, you should be more considerate by stopping by and giving me the money or Cash App or something to me. It's not cool that I have to feel like I'm chasing money, and you make me feel liable to collect it. You should be doing that. That was February 7th. And then like a couple weeks later on the 21st, she goes, hey Moosa, I need to get this money that you owe me from the work I did and also for Artist A. I've got a lot of my play and I put out a lot of money for my son since all the stuff has happened, so I really need this money back in place. I'm taking care of my son and Artist A now out of my own pocket. Who's Artist A? Taking care of Artist A out of her own pocket and he's not paying her? Like, this isn't even the worst of the accusation. This is like the lightest of the ones that people care about. This is pretty fucked up on its own. I mean, all of these like texts, she's like begging him for the money and he's just like, president of TDE, the president. So she's taking care of her son and Artist A out of her own pocket. So I need you to keep your word and your due diligence, please. And then March 8th, it looks like? Yeah, March 8th. So, even a couple weeks after that, again, hey Moosa, I have not heard back from you, and this has really been a cat and mouse game. I feel like I've been chasing you, and it's really becoming resenting at this point. I gave Artist A money today so she can get gas and personal items, but I can't keep taking care of somebody else. Maybe Artist A is Doechii. No, it couldn't be, because Doechii signed in 2021. I mean, it could be. It could be Doechii, because I'm sure they like to vet artists for a couple years before signing, so I'm sure Doechii was in the camp around for a couple years before 2021, if I had to guess. It could be Doechii. I'm guessing, obviously. Doechii hasn't been named yet, so she gave Artist A money today so she can get gas and personal items, but I can't keep taking care of somebody else. This is the reason why my son had to move, and at this point, I am still helping my son out too. This is not fair to me to put in the position where you're taking advantage of me at this point. You haven't paid. So she's super upfront. Like, this is pretty damning. She was so smart to be like hella upfront about it. And like, she even makes him aware of the point that he is taking advantage of her. You haven't paid me for my work, nor for her staying here, and it shouldn't be that hard for you to send me money. You have a responsibility and you need to own it and quit running from it and making me chase it. By mid-March, Miss Luna was owed thousands of dollars. Her request for a payment from Mr. Tiffith Jr. continued to be ignored, except for the occasional partial payment of a few $100s. Yet because of the professional relationship between TDE, Mr. Jr. and Miss Luna feared that if she took more drastic measures, for example, stopping services until she was paid, she would lose out on professional opportunity. Yeah, obviously, like, this is, working for TDE, it's the opportunity of a lifetime, and they are aware that it is that to other people, so they take advantage of that. Clearly. Through 2020, Miss Luna continued to perform media relations services for multiple TDE artists at Mr. Tiffith Jr.'s request. Indeed, TDE employees referred outside media inquiries to Miss Luna, stating that Miss Luna handled PR for the company. For example, in a group text message with Dash Radio in April 2020, a TDE employee referred the Dash representative to Miss Luna, stating, "Baker, this is Linda, she handles our PR." So that's that. Screenshots there. Indeed, Miss Luna was the point of contact with Rolling Stone magazine relating to a request to feature a short write-up of songs being released for TDE Appreciate Week in 2020. Okay, and there's that evidence there with Moosa CC'd on it. Through it all, Mr. Tiffith Jr. continued to make late or partial payments for amounts Miss Luna was owed despite her repeated requests in writing for prompt payment. At one point in 2020, Mr. Tiffith Jr. confessed to Miss Luna that he had no money to pay her, implying that she should work without full and prompt payment because they were teammates. That ain't how it works, buddy. More screenshots. She goes, "Please stop by and drop off the money on your way home, or Cash App. It's been almost 3 weeks. Not cool, Moosa. I'm broke. Gotta get it. Teammate. What you think I am? I'm taking care of A and my son. We need to have a real talk." No, I definitely don't think that. What? He's just like so short with her. She's so detailed and like begging him like with all these reasons why, very specific reasons why she needs the money and what her issues are. And he's just like, yeah, like farting out responses like he's high off fucking perks, dude. Like, oh my God, man. For somebody in this position, this type of position, for a record label like this prominent with these A-list artists on it, I mean, you just expect better business. You just expect it. I expected it. I don't know much about the Tiffiths, but here I am learning. I certainly wouldn't want to work under these conditions, for sure. You know, regardless if it's like fucking TDE. What kind of business is this? In mid-2020, Mr. Tiffith Jr. told Miss Luna that because financial constraints prevented him from properly compensating Miss Luna as agreed, he would offer her a co-management position for Artist A in exchange for a 10% management fee. Okay. On June 12th, 2020, Miss Luna discussed the co-management with Artist A, who agreed. Miss Luna texted Mr. Tiffith Jr. to inform him that Artist A was on board. So here's the message. June 12th, 2020, I just had a long, really good talk with Artist A about everything from her confidence to her hustle, etc. We can chat tomorrow, but she's definitely already stepped in her game up with looking for a vocal coach already. She downloaded this app to find someone, and she does want me to manage her with you. She said she feels comfortable with me and that she trusts me and appreciates, etc., etc. She had mentioned that you wanted blank to manage her at some point or something with you, and that's why she wasn't sure what to do with, because she wasn't sure if I was even down to work with her. But anyways, we'll talk later. Artist A also acknowledged to Miss Luna that she knew Mr. Tiffith Jr. had failed to pay her for her professional services. So this is Artist A texting Miss Luna, "I know Moosa doesn't pay you and all that. I don't mind getting a side job and helping out. I just don't want to waste this money because I don't have any income right now." Man, that's crazy. They're all broke. You know, I guess, you know, Kendrick's the rich one. I just would have assumed that TDE would have gotten more kickback from all the fucking platinum records. Brandon Tiffith's sexual misconduct towards Linda Luna. Okay, so here we go into the juicy stuff. So all of that was accusations against Moosa, who is Anthony Tiffith Jr. So moving on to Brandon Tiffith Jr. accusations of sexual misconduct towards Linda Luna. During the course of Miss Luna's work for TDE, Brandon Tiffith, Chief Marketing Officer and brother to Mr. Tiffith Jr., engaged in inappropriate conduct of a sexual nature towards Miss Luna. On May 22nd, 2020, Miss Luna texted Mr. Tiffith to ask him to contact her. He responded, "After I finish getting this head, LOL." Ugh, Jesus. And she's got the text screenshots. Of course she does. Bless Apple and iMessage. You know, you got your shit saved. If you have an iMac, you're good. If you got a Mac that's connected to your Apple, you know, you got messages on there, you know, I'd probably find messages from 2020 as well. Miss Luna understood Mr. Tiffith to be stating that he was receiving or was about to receive oral sex. She goes, "Hit me," he says, "after I finish getting this head." On June 18th, 2020, Mr. Tiffith texted Miss Luna a photograph of a man grabbing a woman by her ponytail from behind while she was bent over and in a state of partial undress, with the angle of the photograph suggesting the man was engaging in sexual intercourse with the woman. So, you know, unsolicited, you know, sexual photos. You know, and this is like a boss to her, right? On January 7th, 2021, Mr. Tiffith texted Miss Luna a cartoon of a woman with exaggerated buttocks with the caption reading, "Big Booty Latina, 2 tears of joy emojis." It's just weird. On January 8th, 2021, Miss Luna, so the day after that weird Big Booty Latina meme he sent, Miss Luna went to lunch with Mr. Tiffith at the Cheesecake Factory. She parked her vehicle at his residence and they carpooled together in Mr. Tiffith's vehicle. At lunch, Mr. Tiffith and Miss Luna discussed her services for TDE, including for Artist A. Miss Mr. Tiffith ordered alcohol and suggested to Miss Luna that she drink alcohol as well. Miss Luna felt pressured to comply and so drank with Mr. Tiffith. When they returned to Mr. Tiffith's residence, Mr. Tiffith asked Miss Luna to remain in the vehicle with him as he smoked marijuana. Miss Luna does not smoke marijuana and did not partake. However, after prolonged exposure to secondhand marijuana smoke, Miss Luna felt dizzy and asked to lie down before she was ready to drive home. Mr. Tiffith assisted Miss Luna to a room to rest, where she laid down on the bed. Mr. Tiffith then left. However, he later returned. Dun dun dun. Not like for real though. Not trying to make light of the sexual assault. It's actually like pretty scary, I bet. Before Mr. Tiffith re-entered the room, Miss Luna heard his cousin Ron, who was also in the residence at the time, remark, "This is not going to end well, B." He's trying to warn him, and he's like, "Nah, bro, I gotta do this shit, bro." Mr. Tiffith then entered the room and laid down next to Miss Luna. He attempted to remove her clothing, partially pulling down her pants and undergarments and attempting to forcibly kiss her. Miss Luna objected, stating, "Brandon, what are you doing?" Mr. Tiffith replied, "Come on, Linda, you know this was bound to happen." Under the influence of alcohol and secondhand marijuana, Miss Luna was slow to react as Mr. Tiffith removed his penis from his pants. As she realized what was happening, she attempted to push him away. As Miss Luna struggled to get up, Mr. Tiffith grabbed her by the hand and forced her mouth towards his penis. As his penis contacted her, she feigned sickness, as if she were about to vomit due to the alcohol. At this time, Mr. Tiffith released her and Miss Luna escaped into the restroom. In the restroom, Miss Luna collected herself and then immediately left the residence to drive home. As she left, Mr. Tiffith shouted to her to tell him how traffic was. Okay, that's weird. Miss Luna wanted to forget it ever happened. Later that night, once she was safely at home, she sent Mr. Tiffith a text message about traffic, pretending the incident had not happened and everything was normal. The next day, however, she confronted Mr. Tiffith, telling him that had she not been under the influence of alcohol, he would not have been able to take advantage of her or gone as far as he had. Mr. Tiffith reacted indignantly, stating that she was trying to make him sound like a rapist. Dude, you tried to do rape, so that's what makes you seem like a rapist. Man, how dumb do you have to be? It really blows my mind. She responded, emphasizing what he had done had not been consensual. She pointed out that Mr. Tiffith knew Miss Luna had been in a relationship with another individual since December 19th. She's in a relationship. And he knows that, just coloring this fucking situation even more. And that Mr. Tiffith could not reasonably believe she would have consented to his sexual overtures. That is a great point. Let me read that again. So she pointed out that Mr. Tiffith knew Miss Luna had been in a relationship with another individual since December 2019. And she also pointed out that Mr. Tiffith could not reasonably believe she would have consented to his sexual overtures because he knew that she was in a relationship. So here we go. Back to Anthony Tiffith Jr. These are accusations of his sexual misconduct towards Linda Luna, the same person. During the course of Miss Luna's work for TDE, Anthony Tiffith Jr., aka Moosa, engaged in inappropriate conduct of a sexual nature towards Miss Luna. From the beginning, Mr. Tiffith Jr. expressed that he felt his attraction to Miss Luna might affect his ability to work professionally with her, stating in a text that Miss Luna was just too fine for them to work together and that he was scared to work with Miss Luna, wishing that she was more unattractive. Dude, just like so cringe. So simpy and so cringe of a thing to express, especially to an employee. "Hey Moosa," she says to him on December 27th, 2018. So this is way right when they first started working together. These two brothers preying on this woman is so creepy, dude. Anyway, she says, "Hey Moosa, hope you had a great Christmas. We have to finally link up and work together in 2019. LOL. What a bygone era. 2019? Wow." He goes, "We do." How long did it take for him to respond? It took him about 10 hours to respond. She goes, "Yes, let's make it happen, Captain." He goes, "You just too fine. LOL. Scared to work with you. For real though. Ugh." It's so cringy. She goes, "So I have to be overweight and unattractive to work with the hit makers." Yeah, she's just annoyed, obviously. He goes, "LOL, unattractive works best. LOL, but nah, we def gotta get together ASAP." Dude, just way to make it weird as fuck, dude. Jesus. Lawsuit goes on to say, although Miss Luna attempted to jokingly brush off his comments, suggesting she could make herself look unattractive in furtherance of the professional relationship, Mr. Tiffith Jr. persisted, stating, "Can't nothing hide them curves or that face." While Mr. Tiffith Jr. often framed the unwanted sexual messages as jokes, we see right through it, buddy. He also remarked to Miss Luna that there was truth to jokes. You're not fooling anybody, buddy. Not fooling anybody, buddy. So here's the screenshot of that. "I'll just be sure to come with oversized clothes on, no makeup, and hair all crazy looking around you, LOL. She's trying to lay it on, look, man, I am not, that's not what I'm here for. not here for all that business. So I'm gonna just come looking messy. And he goes, slap my ass off. You know, that's not what he's looking for, obviously. Can't nothing hide them curves or that face. That's creepy as hell. It's like, you can't hide from me. Like, I do not like the implication of that. On October 30th, 2019, Mr. Tiffith Jr. came over to Miss Luna's house. They shared a mutual consensual kiss. Okay. Then Mr. Tiffith Jr. said, Linda, I would put a baby in you right now. These guys are dogs. Miss Luna laughed and told him he was crazy. Miss Luna was a single mother who split her time between her profession and caring for her son, an elderly mother, and her son was upstairs at the time. No romantic relationship progressed beyond that night, and Miss Luna and Mr. Tiffith Jr. maintained their professional relationship. In December 2019, Miss Luna entered a relationship with another individual. She told Mr. Tiffith Jr. because he knew the individual personally. Mr. Tiffith Jr. acknowledged the relationship. Mr. Tiffith Jr. continued to send Miss Luna inappropriate messages. In May 2020, Miss Luna called Willie Norwood, a well-respected vocal coach in the industry, to inquire about vocal lessons for Artist A. How Miss Luna was able to get a response from a vocal coach for Artist A so quickly, Mr. Jr. suggested Mr. Norwood had responded to her for sexual reasons, stating it was because he had seen Miss Luna's face, ass, and titties. Obviously, if you get anything from this, you have to admit that these guys are assholes, just based on their own screenshots, communicating with Miss Luna. He texts Miss Luna saying, you ever listen to Brandy? Sends him Willie Norwood's Instagram, her daddy a vocal coach. Try reaching out to him. She goes, yeah, he's going to cost money, FYI. I just talked to Willie. He charges blank an hour, and he said he has time on Monday. He's going to send me what he has available, and he'll come over to the house to start with her, and then we can get a schedule going. He lives in blank. He goes, how'd you contact him that fast? She goes, LOL. He also said he's open to coming to the studio and needed to help with her vocal production, etc. as needed. And then he sends a screenshot of his message to Willie, where he said, you taken on any clients for vocal lessons? And it was seen, and he didn't respond. Willie didn't respond to Moosa. And so he sends that screenshot to her and goes, he left me on red. Them titties get access. Just learn something new. Jesus, dude, he is so corny. First of all, he's never seen me or met me, so don't even try it. We need to set up the mic and speakers here at the house. It's literally just sitting here by my front door. He went down that page, trust me, saw that face, ass, and titties. Yes. What are you talking about? I called him. I didn't message him. Oh, lol. He looks so stupid. That's hilarious. You know, some people do have some decency and respect. Like, she is so respectful. She is so professional throughout this whole thing. And these guys are just dogs. They're like chill. They're like middle schoolers with like drool just like dripping down their fucking cheeks. Like they can't. Oh my God. Like control yourself, bro. Where's the Riz? No Riz. These guys have no Riz. They have anti-Riz. You know, she even seemed like somewhat open to it in a way, like with the kiss. She was like, maybe these guys have the anti-Riz. Okay, continuing on. On Mother's Day in 2020, Mr. Tiffith Jr. wished Miss Luna a happy Mother's Day and called her a MILF, a slave. Oh my God. On one occasion, Mr. Tiffith Jr. sent Miss Luna a video of two individuals engaging in intimate activities. This was unconsented and unwanted. On another occasion, Mr. Tiffith Jr. sent Miss Luna a picture of her and her close friend and expressed sexual interest in Miss Luna's friend. When he asked Miss Luna to introduce them, she reminded him that he was married. He's married this whole time? Dude, holy shit. Oh my God. This keeps getting worse and worse, bro. How many paid? So we're on page 12 of 30. We'll bust through this whole thing. You know, I wasn't lying. This is a rabbit hole. This man has anti-Riz. And apparently he's married. So he goes, who's this? She goes, mi familia, why? He goes, she bad, hook me up. Oh yeah, he sent a picture of her and her friend. He's like, who's this? And she's like, my family. Why? She bad, hook me up. She goes, no. So clear, so direct. He goes, why? She goes, you have a whole wife at home. Why would I do that to her? Like, dude, yeah, man. What a piece of shit. This guy sucks. On another occasion, Mr. Tiffith Jr. demanded he be able to use Miss Luna's home as a covert location at which to engage in sexual relations with a woman who was not his partner. Mr. Tiffith Jr. didn't ask. He simply told Miss Luna he needed to use her home for sex. Oh my God, dude. I love how she has all of these screenshotted. I mean, these are old texts. It seems like she was just like able to screenshot them herself. She didn't even have to request the transcripts or whatever. I mean, it seems like she had them all ready to go. Miss Luna put on an eager demeanor to accommodate his demand. Mr. Tiffith Jr. was a significant source of work and as yet unpaid income, and Miss Luna was afraid that if she expressed dissatisfaction or said no, she would lose the opportunity and the money she was owed. Yeah, so he was holding this money over her head, and the money she was owed, which she needed to support her son and elderly mother. He goes, leaving Paramount. Where you going? Trying to see now. Got this broad with me. Laugh my ass off as always. LOL. I need you upstairs. LOL. Okay. Miss Luna made it clear that she wanted to keep the relationship professional, rebuking Mr. Tiffith Jr. as inappropriate and unprofessional when he attempted to come over to her house at night unannounced. Yo, she goes, yeah. You bleep? What's up? Bout pull up. Honestly, it's inappropriate and unprofessional to be coming this late. Maybe we can set a meeting up later in the week during the day. Yep. Feel free to call me if you need. She is really great at setting her boundaries. So, that's dope to see. It just bolsters her credibility. So, that's only one of the accusers. That's only half of the lawsuit. We're at page 15 of 30. So now we've got Aya Alteri's accusations. Let's dive in. In late 2020, plaintiff Alteri, a friend of artist A, so she moved to California to provide her moral support in her career. TDE provided Miss Alteri with room and board in a TDE house on information and believe other individuals affiliated with TDE also resided in this house. By the way, this is titled Sexual Assault and Harassment of Aya Alteri. So she is accusing these people of sexual assault and sexual harassment. Near the end of 2020, an individual affiliated with TDE who Miss Alteri knew as B-Dawg approached Miss Alteri from behind in the kitchen and, without her consent, rubbed his erect genitalia against her buttocks. He repeated this conduct on one other occasion. On information and belief, TDE was aware of the incidents but took no action. On information and belief. One way or another, others were made aware of this. On a night in January 2021, defendant David Harrell, whom Miss Alteri understood to be affiliated with TDE, was asked to drive Miss Alteri to a studio he had booked for artist A, where artist A and Miss Luna were waiting. On the way, Mr. Harrell stated that he needed to make a quick pit stop at his apartment to pick something up for Mr. Tiffith Jr. Miss Alteri trusted Mr. Harrell because she understood he had worked at TDE for over 20 years and because she knew he was close with Mr. Tiffith Jr., the president of the company. Miss Alteri followed Mr. Harrell up the steps to his apartment. She tried to stay at the door, assuming Mr. Harrell would run in and pick up whatever he needed to get. From further inside, Mr. Harrell encouraged her multiple times to come in. Finally, she relented but expressed that she was in a hurry to leave. Mr. Harrell approached her with a shot of alcohol and asked her to drink it before they left. Miss Alteri declined multiple times. Mr. Harrell persisted, telling her to take the shot and reassuring her, stating, "It's fine, we'll leave right after this." On information and belief, Mr. Harrell knew Miss Alteri was under the age of 21. Ooh, she is young! Okay, that paints this. This is an older man. How old is he? He's been working for TDE for 20 years, so he's at least like 35 or 40, right? And she is under 21. Eager to leave the situation, Miss Alteri drank the shot. Within seconds, Miss Alteri's stomach started hurting and she began to feel unusual. She sat in a chair and held her stomach. Mr. Harrell sat down next to her and pulled her towards him, attempting to move her onto his lap. She was much lighter than Mr. Harrell, only about 100 pounds, and he easily moved her onto his chair. At this point, reached under Miss Alteri's hoodie and grabbed her inappropriately. Alteri yelled, "What are you doing, H. Wood?" Mr. Harrell responded, "Relax, it's fine, just do what I ask." That's like textbook creepy. Alteri yelled at Mr. Harrell to stop multiple times. At this point, Mr. Harrell started removing Miss Alteri's pants and touching her intimate areas. He then picked up Miss Alteri and threw her onto the bed. Mind you, again, this is like a boss. It's bad enough like that he's like old and creepy and like so forceful and like this is like unconsensual, but he is also in like a powerful position over her. It just makes it worse. Not that it's not bad enough on its own, but it's just another layer of fucked. He allegedly picked her up and threw her on the bed. At this point, Miss Alteri was certain she would be raped if she did not escape. Without thinking twice, she ran out the door and down the street. As she ran, the following thoughts flashed through her mind. She was in a potentially dangerous area. Her cell phone was disconnected at the time, and she had no idea where to go. She kept running until she found a convenience store. She used a phone to call Artist A and told her, "H. Wood just tried to rape me. Call a lift back to Linda's house now." Damn. Both of these women seem to be like direct about what is happening to them and not trying to justify it any way. Like they're just like, yo, hard lines crossed and making it very clear in the moment what has happened to them. This case feels strong. Pretty rock solid. At least the Miss Luna stuff, a lot of that is pretty substantiated. Miss Alteri tried to drink water, but she was increasingly dizzy. So not only did he like try to rape her, but he like date raped her, spiked her drink or whatever. Allegedly. It did not feel to her like the effects of alcohol alone, and she suspected she had been drugged. She became so dizzy she feared she was going to become unconscious. At that point, there is a hole in a memory The next thing she remembers is waking up in Miss Luna's home. Wait, where did she pass out at? The gas station? It doesn't say where she passed out at. I guess in the lift. I don't know. Miss Altieri wanted to downplay what had happened because she wanted to protect Artist A's career. However, Artist A insisted on telling Mr. Tiffith Jr. On information and belief, Artist A subsequently informed defendant Brandon Tiffith. Miss Altieri expected that TDE would take steps to ensure Mr. Harrell was not in the same location as Miss Altieri, but Mr. Harrell continued to perform his work around Miss Altieri. Yeah, these people, you think that they're gonna try and control a situation like that? You're mistaken. They don't give a fuck. Clearly. Obviously. As evidenced by this. It's pretty obvious how they're going to treat this. I'm not going to lie, I would expect a little bit more decency, but I'm not too surprised. He pretended like nothing had happened. Miss Altieri was disgusted by TDE's response to the incident and decided to cut ties with the company shortly thereafter. Damn, so she left. Good for her. Meeting between TDE execs Miss Luna and Artist A. January 28th, 2023, Miss Luna and Artist A met with Mr. Tiffith Jr. and Keaton Smith, TDE's general manager. So the meeting began as a discussion about TDE and Artist A's mutual expectations about the professional relationship. Miss Luna was in attendance as Artist A's co-manager. Artist A recorded the conversation. Mr. Tiffith Jr. encouraged her to record, stating, "If you're going to record, then record. Hey, press record on your phone, man." Artist A responded, "We've been recording. We're good." During the meeting, the conversation turned to Artist A's dissatisfaction with TDE. Both TDE execs began discussing Artist A's career. Mr. Smith stated, "Character is all we have in life. That's the most important thing." Mr. Tiffith Jr. followed up, "Do you dispute that?" Following the statements about character, Miss Luna interjected, raising various instances in the past she believed showing the negative character of TDE's execs, employees, and affiliated individuals. This is particularly interesting to me because TDE has built a rep with Kendrick Lamar. TDE's character is really a big part of their brand. They're not necessarily squeaky clean character, but they have a lot of perceived integrity, right? As a business, signing artists with integrity, releasing albums with integrity. They don't really fuck around. So this is super damaging to their image. It really is. It really is a peek behind the curtain that they most definitely did not want the public to see. Guarantee it. But if this is them, fuck it, dude. We gotta know. I do not feel bad reading this because we have to know. As the fans, we're giving them money, just like any other corporation at this point. Miss Luna noted TDE's failure to take steps after the incident between B-Dawg and plaintiff Altieri, stating, "There's been times that people like the cousin that you have tried to violate her, her friend, and y'all didn't do anything about it. The people close to Artist A are gonna know about it because it was her friend that happened to. So the girls, they got each other's backs here." Miss Luna noted an incident between another individual, Artist 1, who she understood was a TDE artist, and Artist A, in which Artist 1 engaged in unwanted sexual overtures towards Artist A, stating, "And there's times that Artist 1 tried to fuck her." When pressed, Artist A interjected to elaborate, stating, "He tried to break into the room and I wasn't in there. If I was in there, he would have came." Artist A became emotional and on the verge of tears, stated that she felt TDE did not treat her like a human being. Wow, dude, I really want to know who Artist A is. Miss Luna jumped into the conversation again, stating that Artist A doesn't feel protected because of the things that have transpired with her friend, where H. Wood tried to almost. Artist A then interjected, "H. Wood tried to rape Aya Altieri too." This referred to the incident between defendant Harrell and plaintiff Altieri. On information and belief, defendant Brandon Tiffith was informed about this incident shortly after it occurred, and defendants TDE and Tiffith Jr. knew or should have known about the incident. Mr. Tiffith Jr. stated that he was completely unaware of the incidents mentioned by Miss Luna and Artist A, but Miss Luna pushed back, stating, "Well, y'all know about the cousin." Miss Luna was referring to the incident between B-Dawg and plaintiff Altieri. On information and belief, defendant TDE knew or should have known about the incident. So there's 2 rapes here. Also one where one of the artists signed to TDE, a male artist, was making weird sexual overtures and trying to quote unquote fuck Artist A. So that could be any of the male artists on TDE. Wonder if it's is it a legacy artist or is it a new one? It could be any. We don't know. Couldn't be Kendrick though. It's not Kendrick. We know. It's definitely not Kendrick. It couldn't be. Obviously not. But yeah, it seems like there was 2 separate rapey situations that went down with B-Dawg. At one point, when Miss Luna attempted to understand the approval process for certain contracts or show promotions, she asked whether she was supposed to run them through Mr. Tiffith Jr. or TDE. Mr. Tiffith stated, I own the label." At the same time, Mr. Smith stated he is the label. Mr. Tiffith Jr. confirmed there was no distinction between him and the label and that there was no other approval process other than direct communication with Mr. Tiffith Jr. A few minutes later into the conversation, Mr. Tiffith Jr. accused Miss Luna of having sex with multiple individuals affiliated with TDE, and when we're talking about B-Dawg in Hollywood, referring to the incidents with plaintiff Altieri, you've had sex with my brother. At this point, both Miss Luna and Artist A interjected loudly and both disputed that Miss Luna had sex with defendant Brandon Tiffith. Just making up lies. Like, just this classic middle school behavior. Yeah, bro, I definitely slept with her. And just like running with it. Like, all the guys believe it, bro. What is this, man? This is so childish. Miss Luna stated, voice raised, no. I have never had sex with Brandon, ever. Mr. Tiffith Jr. responded, you've never done anything sexual with Brandon? Ms. Luna retorted, voice raised, no, your brother violated me when I was drunk, and your fucking cousin was there. Do not go there with me, Moosa. You were fucking crazy that I would fucking sit here and fuck another guy. Mr. Tiffith Jr. knew that at the time of Mr. Tiffith's assault, Ms. Luna was in a relationship with another individual. At this point in the conversation, Mr. Tiffith Jr. tried to interrupt, but Ms. Luna continued, no. And mind you, all of this is recorded. They have all of this whole meeting recorded. She goes, you're not about to do that to me. You're throwing fucking allegations. On God, on my son. I've never fucked your brother in my life. He did violate me when I was drinking with him. At this point in the conversation, an argument ensued. Miss Luna expressed her anger at the way TDE had treated her on the basis of her perceived sexual partners. You just literally attacked me with saying that I fucked your brother when I never had. No, you need to literally shut that shit down because y'all talk about me in the office like I'm a fucking whore, and I'm not. Artist A interjected to confirm TDE's treatment of Miss Luna. Miss Luna continued, I'm a 45-year-old woman who has a college degree, who worked hard to be where I'm at. I don't need my daddy to bring me where I'm at. I don't need TDE. I'm where I'm at because of me. Clearly, she's a hard worker. I mean, she's out here working for like no money. All right. When Mr. Tiffith Jr. tried to interrupt, Miss Luna raised this as an industry-wide issue. You don't know what women go through in this industry. Miss Luna broke down in tears at this point, and Artist A consoled her. Crying, Miss Luna continued, you're not about to do that to me. I ain't never fucked Brandon, bro. He violated me. I ain't never fucked your brother, bro. On God. Man, I feel bad for her. I mean, they're just pushing her to the brink here. Later in the conversation, Miss Luna confronted Mr. Tiffith Jr. about his perpetuation of the false narrative that she had attempted to have sex with Brandon Tiffith. Specifically, Miss Luna had heard that Mr. Tiffith Jr. was telling other TDE employees that Miss Luna was attempting to seek out multiple TDE employees to have sex with, including Brandon Tiffith. I'm not gonna lie, I believe her. Especially Miss Luna's accusations. I mean, with all those text messages and everything, I mean, these guys are fucking dumb. They really are. Just dumb dogs. You know what's wrong if you know that people are lying about someone's name, because imagine then someone talking about your sister or your own daughter. Artist A also stated later in the conversation that Brandon Tiffith had come into the TDE office, overheard a conversation between two employees about Miss Luna, and jokingly said to them that Miss Luna had tried to force herself onto them. So he's like spreading lies that she had sex with him. Like that's defamation. That's got to be defamation to spread lies about who somebody's had sex with, especially in a workplace. I mean, this is your boss. Like, I'm only laughing because of how insane it is. These powerful dudes, top of the game in the industry, presidents, CEOs, they should be at the highest standard of professionalism. Treating their own employees like this, it's just disgraceful. Where are we at? On information and belief, defendants Tiffith Jr. and TDE knew or should have known that managing agents and employees of TDE were discussing Miss Luna's perceived sexuality and sexual partners in a disparaging manner. Further in the conversation, Mr. Smith stated that he and the company were against violence towards women. At this point, Miss Luna broke down in tears again, stating, I'm sorry, but it has happened with his brother. Give me a minute, okay? Give me a minute. At this point, Miss Luna had to stop to compose herself. During that time, on information and belief, Artist A stated that she had previously informed TDE about the incident and that the incident was also why Artist A had blocked Brandon Tiffith. Artist A further stated that the reason she did not socialize in the office was because of instances like the ones she and Miss Luna had raised. Artist A further discussed TDE's knowledge of instances of sexual misconduct. I've told you some of them, nothing happens. I told y'all, B-Dawg tried to do something to Aya, Altieri, nothing happened. Fat ass still walking around the house doing nothing. That's funny. What is the point if I come and I say something? Do you want me to go to the cops? On information and belief, Artist A informed TDE managing agents after the incident between B-Dawg and Miss Altieri, but TDE took no action. At this point, Artist A recounted the specific facts of the event between defendant Harrell and plaintiff Altieri. Again, Artist A challenged TDE's failure to take action to protect women. You gotta understand, if I say something one time and nothing happened, what would be the reason for me saying it over and over and over? Clearly, I'm not being protected. It's the man being protected. At this point, Artist A again recounted additional details of the event between defendant Harrell and plaintiff Alteri. Mr. Tiffith Jr. argued that Miss Luna and Artist A about whether or not specific instances had been raised with TDE execs, with Miss Luna and Artist A pointing out instances where they believed TDE had been notified of misconduct but taken no action. Specifically, Miss Luna stated that plaintiff Alteri had informed defendant Brandon Tiffith about B-Dog's misconduct, but that no action had been taken. You know, it's pretty obvious. I mean, she immediately ran from the house straight to a convenience store and immediately called Artist A, if my memory serves me right, and immediately told her what happened. Yo, he tried to rape me. Like, there was no, doubt, no question. So, it does make sense that she would have brought this to the exec's attention immediately. It's not hard for me to believe that. Mr. Tiffith Jr. admitted at this point that he had been informed about something related. So he goes on to admit it. That's good. Relating to B-Dog and plaintiff Alteri, but he pointed out that Miss Alteri had returned back to the TDE house after the incident. Miss Luna understood this to mean that Mr. Tiffith Jr. had known the details about B-Dog's assault on Miss Alteri, but that he had decided to justify an action by construing Miss Alteri's return to the TDE house as a resolution of any issues. Exactly. Where was she supposed to go? She moved to LA, and this was where she was living. They put her up in a house. Where else was she supposed to go? Skid Row? What the fuck? I mean, these people are assholes. It goes beyond being an asshole. I mean, it's obviously, the asshole behavior has turned to criminal. You know, when you're such an asshole, you become a criminal. Further in the conversation, Artist A raised another incident in which another TDE artist, Artist S, had busted through her door when she was sleeping. Oh shit. Okay, so one of the other artists was Artist I. If that's supposed to mean the first letter of their first name, there is an Isaiah Rashad. And if Artist S is meant to be, I don't know. I would assume, because we got Artist A, and I assume that meant A, as in A, B, C. But now they're using Artist S, Artist I. I don't want to assume, but I want to say it could be an artist on TDE whose name starts with an S. That's a male. I don't know. Who knows? But apparently Artist S had busted through her door when she was sleeping, stating that there were quote unquote, so many similar instances of inappropriate behavior directed towards women. Wait, what? Okay, so she's saying that that's an inappropriate behavior directed towards women. She also stated that Artist I had, without consent, sent her a picture of his penis in videos that were sexual in nature. Bro. Who? Okay, so at the beginning of this, I said the artists weren't involved. Taken aback now. Wow. Artist I sending pictures of his penis to her? Oh, man. Please release the names. Please unredact the names. Holy shit, we have to know. We have to know. Miss Luna interjected, recounting that Artist I had offered to pay Artist A's bills if he could watch Artist A engage in oral sex with another man. Artist A recounted that Artist I had also wanted her to watch him engage in sexual acts with another man. To watch him engage in sex. Oh my god. It is Isaiah Rashad. It's Isaiah Rashad. Holy shit, bro. Now I'm left wondering, does Artist A mean that A is the first letter of this artist name? So what tipped me off that this is Isaiah Rashad is that he was outed as bi earlier this decade, and she's alleging that he wanted her to watch him engage in sexual acts with another man. Artist I, Isaiah Rashad. I mean, am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. Artist A stated that instances like this are why I don't feel safe, why I don't feel like coming into the office. That's why I act the way I act. It's not an attitude, it's protectiveness. The TDE executives, and Mr. Smith in particular, stated multiple times that they took such incidents seriously and did not condone such conduct. But Mr. Tiffith Jr. also made statements diminishing the accounts of Miss Luna and Artist A. Mr. Tiffith Jr. repeatedly cautioned against bringing personal sexual relationships into the workplace and referred to the discussion about the incidents as high schoolish. That's rich coming from Anthony Tiffith Jr. Miss Luna pointed out that this attitude was the very attitude that had motivated her to keep the assault by Brandon Tiffith to herself. During the conversation, Mr. Tiffith Jr. clarified that Miss Luna's pay for any brand deals that were reached as a result of Miss Luna's efforts would be negotiated directly between her and Artist A, and TDE would have no involvement. Miss Luna understood this arrangement to be separate from the existing 10% management agreement between her and TDE. Nearly 3 hours into the meeting, Miss Luna expressed that she needed to know what TDE intended to do now that they knew about Brandon Tiffith's misconduct, emphasizing again that Mr. Tiffith took advantage of her while she was drunk and that the encounter was non-consensual. Mr. Tiffith Jr. brushed off the question, unsurprisingly. Artist A then reminded Mr. Tiffith Jr. that she had previously told him that Brandon Tiffith had forced himself on Miss Luna. On information and belief, Artist A had previously told Mr. Tiffith Jr. that Brandon Tiffith had assaulted Miss Luna, but neither Mr. Tiffith Jr. nor TDE took any action. Mr. Tiffith Jr. questioned why someone who was taken advantage of would wait a year to come forward. Oh, classic. Artist Artist responded, "That's how the world works." Exactly. Mr. Tiffith Jr. retorted, "That's not how the world works." Artist continued, "I've had things happen to me that I still haven't said anything about. That's how the world works with women. You're not a woman, so you won't understand." It's not going to get through to him, but she's right. Miss Luna confronts Brandon Tiffith. After the January 28th meeting, Miss Luna confronted Brandon Tiffith about his comments in the office relating to incident between them. She reminded Mr. Tiffith that he had tried to have sex with her without her consent. Oh, we got a screenshot here. "What are you saying happened? Please be honest, we've been too cool." She goes, "You and I talked the next day and I told you that had I not been drunk, that would have not happened. You know that I was seeing blank and I liked him a lot. You know you were trying to have sex with me and I didn't want to and we didn't have sex. I wasn't comfortable with what happened, but I wanted to let it go because and this is where he like pulled his dick out and everything. So like he was assaulting. That's pretty much assault if you ask me." Like she's like, "No." And he's like got his dick out. And she's like, "No." And he keeps pulling his dick out and putting his pants out. And she's like, "No." Miss Luna meets with Anthony Tiffith Sr. Now she's meeting with Top. On February 9th, 2023, Miss Luna met with Anthony Tiffith Sr., Top, founder of TDE and father of defendants Anthony Tiffith Jr. and Brandon Tiffith. During the meeting, it's always the sons. They always fuck it up, dude. They always fuck it up. The sons, the spoiled sons. During the meeting, Miss Luna discussed her management of Artist A and Miss Luna and Mr. Tiffith Sr. Agreed that Miss Luna would be Artist A's sole manager moving forward. During the meeting, Mr. Tiffith Sr. asked Miss Luna what had happened between her and defendant Brandon Tiffith. She told Mr. Tiffith Sr. the details of defendant Tiffith forcibly attempting to have sex with her. Mr. Tiffith brushed it off, commenting that there was no fraternizing in the company, but that he did not mind it between consenting adults, suggesting that because alcohol had been involved, the question of consent was murky, but alcohol notwithstanding, Miss Luna had been unequivocally clear in refusing Mr. Tiffith's advances, and Mr. Tiffith had been unequivocally forceful in attempting sex despite Miss Luna's attempts to stop him. Still, she did not correct Mr. Tiffith because he was at the very top of the hierarchy, incredibly influential in the industry, and she believed exerted a great deal of control over Miss Luna's professional future. Artist A signs a multi-million-dollar deal. In March 2023, Artist A signed a deal with Warner Records for a multi-million-dollar figure. Artist A told Miss Luna that per her agreement with TDE, TDE was responsible for paying 10% management fee to Miss Luna. TDE never paid Miss Luna the management fee. Dude, who is Artist A? I've got to know. I wish I knew. TDE reveals plaintiffs' names in a public statement. So this is where they add on to the original lawsuit after TDE responds with doxing their name, quote unquote doxing Miss Luna and Aya Alteri. Plaintiffs initially filed this lawsuit under the pseudonyms Jane Doe and Jane Roe, fearing for their reputations and safety if their names were publicly revealed. On information and belief, defendant TDE released a public statement to multiple news outlets on February 1st, 2025 through a rep stating this was a shakedown lawsuit by Linda Luna and Aya Alteri, thus revealing plaintiffs' names to the public. Since her identity was revealed, Miss Luna has received multiple harassing messages from third parties, including the following, quote, "Lying, ugly, weird-ass bitch, tears of joy emoji. I hope you get R-worded and murdered, and I hope your family died of cancer to the eyes, weak biatch, tears of joy emoji. I hope you ugly dog dies, you lying stupid mutt word, look how ugly you both are. I hope you burn alive, Jesus Christ." The messages included a photograph of Miss Luna and her dog from her personal social media account. Alright, another one. Quote, "It's hard for women to come forward because of attention seekers such as yourself, and real victims have to be weeded out. Shame on you." Quote, another one, "You a liar though." Quote, another one, "You are ugly as hell. Laugh my ass off. Nobody sexually harassed you. You look like an ogre." I mean, these are just trolls. I mean, these are just like the worst of the worst, right? Alright, Miss Luna has also received multiple harassing messages directed toward her media relations company's social media account, including the following, quote, "What's pussy ass page having comments limited, good luck growing coward, and fuck this agency." Following the release of plaintiffs' personally identifying information, 2 of Miss Luna's clients terminated their professional relationship with her. Ooh, not good. Okay, what is the rest of this? The causes of action. I mean, this is just... Okay, I don't think I need to read all that. That's it. So that's it. We read the whole lawsuit, gang. Thoughts? I mean, pretty damning. You know, there's a lot of layers to it. A lot of it seems substantiated by the text messages. It's not looking great for the Tiffith brothers. It's really not looking great for them. And I guess we'll just kind of see what happens from here. We will keep our nose to the grindstone on this case. The veneer is starting to crack for TDE.